over the past couple of decades, kids' birthday parties have kind of taken on a life of their own. More expensive, more stressful, and more time consuming than I think most of us would like. So today I am sharing the super simple birthday party that we recently hosted for our now 7-year-old for under $90. I'm gonna share our kind of budget breakdown or our planning process, and I'm gonna share like super easy, simple ways that we made the day special for her. So category number 1 was location. And for us, we decided to host this party at our house, which obviously cost us nothing. This is a great example of why having a like decluttered, simplified, easy to manage home can be such a benefit. We honestly, to prepare our actual house for the party, I think we vacuumed like basically the main entrance, and I think that was just about it. Our house is super easy to manage. So having people over, having like a little party of kids really requires like not much effort at all. I also find for the most part, kids like having their parties at home, especially when they're little, because a lot of the friends that we have over for the party have never been to our house before. So it's kind of fun. And she got to like take them for a little tour of the house, and they just love to basically be able to feel at home in an area where they can just run around and explore. Category 2 were the invitations. I spent $0 on this as well. All I did was go into Canva. I've spent probably like 8 to 12 minutes making the invitation. I just used a template that was already existing and already had unicorns on it, which was the theme of her party. I just put our information in, I saved it on my phone, and then I just sent it through text to all of the parents. One thing I did this year, which is a little bit different, is I added a blurb on the invitation requesting or kind of like suggesting or encouraging parents to give secondhand or hand-me-down gifts. I would have loved to do a no gift party or like a $5 party where everyone just brings $5 bill, something super simple like that with low clutter. However, Annie Rose is very passionate about gifts. This is her first ever friend party. As much as I like to encourage the kids to focus on, you know, time together and activities rather than material things, I also am respectful of that. Like, she wanted the idea of getting little gifts from her friends and little treasures that were special to her, or like a new toy or whatever. So anyway, I thought the idea of still receiving gifts for Annie Rose, but doing them ideally with like secondhand or hand-me-downs would make it ideally easier for the parents, and that they have to spend less money, and then also it's a little bit less waste for the earth. Category 3 is decor, and we again spent $0 in this department. Annie Rose was gifted a little unicorn party pack, probably, well, this was our fourth year using it. So all these little unicorn decorations, a little banner that we take out every year and we put up for her birthday, and she still thinks it's amazing and she still loves it. So we continued to use the same one, so we didn't have to end up buying anything new, and she thought the decorations looked fantastic. One new thing we did this year was we made a giant number 7 out of cardboard. So if you guys know those giant number balloons, you can get like the cellophane balloons that you can buy from party stores, and they look so good. I love the look of them. However, I just know I do not want to spend the money, and B, I do feel a little bit bad because I do just end up in the landfill. So I found this reel on Instagram. It was from an account called Sibster, and I will link it below. And what she did was she created like a giant number out of cardboard for her child's birthday party. And so that's exactly what we did. We grabbed a box that we had already, and we just basically cut out a giant number 7. And then I let Annie Rose decorate it. She painted it. She added little stickers and things like that to make it special, that the way she liked it. And then on the actual day of her party, we hung it from her, from like the light fixture in our main entrance. So as soon as people walked in, that's what they saw. And it was so easy. And then at the end of the party, I could just throw it right into the recycle bin. One thing I want to mention in this category is that for the decor, and really the party in general, I tried to sort of follow the lead of Annie Rose and focus on the stuff that she felt was very important to her. However, keep in mind, decor might not be important for every kid. And if you're not into it and your kid doesn't care about it, I would say you could skip this entirely. My son, who is 8 currently, he has already announced that he doesn't want any decorations for his next birthday party. He doesn't care about them. He just wants to play sports and play with his friends and have fun. He does not care about a single balloon. So if you don't care about it, this is your permission to just skip it altogether. Next up are our activities that we had at the party. So basically we had two sort of like activities or things for the kids to do. Number one was we had a little craft table. So what I did was I took up the rest of the cardboard box that we used for our giant number 7, and I just cut out a bunch of cardboard hearts for each of the kids to decorate. And then I ended up putting those hearts on like a giant craft table, and then I took a tray, like almost like a chip tray that we had in our kitchen that we use for taco night, or we use it for like veggies and dip, that sort of thing. And I just took that tray and I found random craft supplies that we already owned from around the house, and then we put them in each of the compartments of the tray. So we put a bunch of beads in the middle, we cut out a bunch of stickers we had and we put those into one compartment. I went into our gift wrap bin and I grabbed a bunch of tissue paper and I cut that into little squares. I also had a roll of streamers that we weren't going to use, and I cut those into little squares so the kids could tape those on. We had some glitter glue, we had some like the washi tape or washi tape, whatever that's called. We had some of that they used. I think I just threw cotton balls in there, like super random stuff that we already owned that I thought would be fun for the kids to decorate the hearts with. The craft activity cost us $0 and the kids had a blast with it. The next activity was a game, and we did pin the horn on the unicorn. And what I did to create the actual unicorn was I followed some advice actually from people that had sent me on Instagram. I just grabbed a image of a unicorn off of Google and I sent it to our Staples, which are our local office supply store, and I got it printed black and white as an engineering drawing, which are actually typically lower cost than if you got something printed as an actual like picture or image. And so I printed that, and I think it was 2 by 3 feet when I printed it, and it cost $4.72, and that was ready in a couple days. I picked it up, and when I brought it home, Annie Rose ended up wanting to color it, so that's exactly what she did. And then we hung it on the wall, and then for the actual horns for the kids to use, we just cut them out of paper like the morning of the party. It took us probably 90 seconds, and the kids had a blast with it. It was so much fun. Even by the end of the party, kids would come up to me and say, hey, can we go back and play that game again? They were into it, and it was so hilarious to watch them play. So again, that was super easy for under $5, and the kids had a blast with it. The next category are treat bags. So as most of you know, I am not a big fan of treat bags. I don't want the clutter. I don't want all the little bits from all the birthday parties. If I could do no treat bags, I would have loved that. However, again, I was trying to be respectful of Annie Rose, and the one thing she was the most excited about was treat bags for her friends. So what we did is we sort of met in the middle, and I said, yeah, absolutely, we can do treat bags. Let's focus on consumables or things that are secondhand. So the first thing we did was we went to the bulk barn just one day when we happened to be there grocery shopping, and we got, she picked out little chocolate hearts for each of the kids, and then she picked out I think ring pops to put in them as well, and she was super happy with that. She got to pick them herself. She felt very independent doing that, and again, it was pretty low cost. Then right around the corner from our bulk barn in our area is a store called Once Upon a Child, which you may or may not have in your area. It's a consignment store for kids stuff, and I find that they have so many good quality items for kids. And so while we were there, we found a pack of unicorn diary books, and there's a pack of 5, which is exactly how many guests we had. That I think was $5.50 or so, and we grabbed that whole pack. And then we also in the store were able to find a little pack of dolls. So not LOL dolls, Polly Pockets maybe? I think they might be Polly Pockets. So anyway, there were just 5 little dolls in a pack. Again, I think it was like $7 or $7.50 around that. And we brought that home. And so each of the kids got a little doll, a little book, and they got some candy to go with that. So although it's not completely clutter-free like I would love, at least the items are secondhand, and then the food is obviously consumable. The treat bags total cost about $21. I know we've been to other parties before where the parent just holds like a basket at the end of the party with full-size chocolate bars that like maybe just have a ribbon on them, and each kid can pick their favorite, which I also love that idea. Also, I've seen like just little gift cards for each of the guests for like Dairy Queen, like their ice cream store, or for like a little local candy shop, anything like that. I love those ideas as well. Next category is food, and this was by far the most expensive part of the party for us. We did the party over lunch hour. If you're really tight on budget, you could always do like a party that's from like 10 to noon or 9 to 11 and just have like snacks and have like cake or whatever. We spent about, I think, $43 total on food. Annie Rose's only request for lunch was having craft dinner, which she's obsessed with. We also had fries and chicken nuggets. I think I put out a bowl of chips. And then we did like a little fruit tray that I sort of tried to make like little rainbows. And then I offered, I think for drinks, we had apple juice and chocolate milk. Another huge benefit of having the parties at home is that we were just able to use like our plates and our cups and our forks and spoons that we already have like in our kitchen. So I didn't have to spend any money on disposable plates or disposable like forks and spoons, that sort of thing, which was a big bonus. The one thing we did to make the party like a little bit extra special was that this was Annie Rose's champagne birthday. So she turned 7 years old on the 7th of March. And so what I did was I borrowed champagne glasses from my mom, and then I had them set at the table for each of the kids. So it made the table look a little bit fancier. It also was kind of fun for the kids. They thought it was pretty funny to drink out of them. And also it was a nice little conversation piece to talk about, like, oh, what's a champagne birthday? And like, what's champagne? So that was sort of fun to talk about too while we were eating. Lastly was the cake. For us, I have made Annie Rose's cake so many times in the past, but she doesn't like sweets. She definitely doesn't like cake. She doesn't like cupcakes, any of that thing. So I just felt like it was complete waste to do that. The one thing she will eat and that she does like are donuts. So the morning of the party, I sent Scott, my husband, out to Tim Hortons, which is like our local coffee shop. And so he picked up 7 of jelly-filled donuts, which is her favorite kind, and a little bit of Timbits too for kids who don't like the jelly-filled. And then I just basically tried to make it look a bit cakeish. Like I tried to pile the donuts to make it look like a tower, and then put candles in that, put it on a cake stand, and that was her cake. And again, she adored it. She loved it. The kids thought it was cool. And it was very easy, very simple. And I think we spent just under $13. It was about $12.50 for all of the donuts. So overall, the party cost us, I think, around $82. So it was under $90. It was very easy. It required very little stress, not a ton of planning. It didn't take too much time, and Annie Rose loved it. When the parents came to pick up the kids all wanted to stay longer and keep playing, which I feel like is always a good sign. And Annie Rose gave the party a 10 out of 10 afterwards. So yeah, I hope that kind of gives you some ideas for maybe creating a simple, easy birthday for you and your kids. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for following along. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.